Hello, it's me, Diddy Goops, once again, back for another chess video. It's Sunday, 9:30 p.m. as of time of recording. It's been a long day. Well, not really a long day. It's been a long day of reclining and relaxing because it's Sunday, football day. Watch the 49ers and the Eagles go at it. The 49ers team kind of just imploded after injury and injury, foul after foul. But it's still pretty cool. But yeah, as always, we're going to be diving into a 10-minute game, and then while we're playing the game, I'm going to be talking over all my reasoning over for every single move, what I'm thinking about every position, and of course afterwards we're going to be analyzing the game because every game, especially if it's a loss, will be a learning opportunity, and we got to learn from what I'm missing. So yeah, and the last time we actually lost against I think like a 1700 something. So we gotta win back those rating points. Anyways, we're playing against Sildet, and he's from Mongolia. That's a cool country. So again, e4, e5. He's playing or sorry, not e4, e5, e4, e6 because I played French. He's playing knight f3, and usually I'll just go to an exchange French and he'll play like d4. So far, very normal stuff. Or not very. I guess I mean it's been two moves, but if he does take our pawn, oh, he pushes it. Okay, this is slightly different. I'm not actually sure what to do against this. Maybe we just go c5 and not let him support this pawn because right now this pawn is kind of weak. How is he wanting to, I guess, develop this? It's going to be like through a d4 push, right? So I'm going to play c5, prevent preemptively trying to stop this d4 push. If he does play d4, okay, so he's playing c3, which is very interesting. Seems like we could actually just be going into like advanced French. So if I do nothing and then he plays like d4, looks very similar to advanced French. So I think I'm gonna play my knight e7, which is what I've done earlier in an advanced French, advanced variation. Oh, and he plays this move, which is very, very interesting because I don't think it's a great move at all. So he does play this. He's not supporting this pawn, so I'm gonna play knight c6. I think attacking this pawn, and maybe I could put my queen here. Maybe bring this other knight here. I think that's a absolutely fine idea. Maybe this will prompt a d4, but then I'm just gonna play a bishop here in the castle. So I think I should just be up a tempo. So I think this does force d4. Yeah, very interesting stuff so far. And yeah. So I was wondering, maybe is there any idea for like queen b here, but I don't really see anything actually right now. Maybe I'm thinking maybe I go here, and now I'm threatening to take here, and the idea is that, well, if he takes this is awesome because free pawn, right? So I'm thinking of playing this, and the idea is that, well, if he tries to block with the bishop, I go back here, and now I'm attacking both this b2 pawn, and I'm threatening to take on this square. So that's the idea. So we're gonna try to go ahead and do that. Again, the idea of the French, or especially the advanced variation, is that once you push this pawn, it's weak if he doesn't go here, or if he doesn't take, as long as there's not a pawn here, because you want to protect this pawn, right? You don't want to just give it up for free. So he actually just castled out of the way. So I feel my queen's kind of not doing much over there. So that's a little awkward. But I guess we continue to develop our piece. The same threat, I guess, still exists. So not horrible, right? Bishop d2 seems like a very normal mistake to make. So very possible. It's still very possible to make that mistake, and he does make that mistake. I think it's a mistake. Unfortunately, we're gonna find out later in the game if it's a mistake. But I'm gonna play this because when he moves this bishop out, this pawn is weakened. So now I'm gonna be threatening to take right here. But I also have one, two, and a third attacker on this pawn, while he only has one, two defenders. So I think we're gonna try this out. Should work. Should work. Should work. If he goes queen here, I take. He takes with the pawn, and I take over here. And once he takes back with his pawn, he has a double isolated pawn, which would be pretty bad for him, obviously. He saves his pawn, so now I'm thinking, what if I just take here? And I think this seems to work. Yeah, I'm going to take with my knight. And when I also take this, now, again, now you guys can see how weak this pawn over here is. Now, like, what's defending it? Not really much, so that's kind of the idea of this opening. Once he loses this pawn over here, it gets a little messy for him. Okay, so he is pinning us here. So there's two ways to get out of this because he has quite the attackers, right? Uh, quite the attackers. So there's this or this. If we can take with check and then move our queen away, that saves us. If we take here, we do remove a defender of this pawn, but he's gonna take back. It's our turn to move away. Our queen, maybe. If we go here, I don't think he can defend it, but if he goes here, takes, and then he takes with his pawn, then when we go back, he can play his pawn forward and it kind of defends everything. But if I take here, this is his good bishop because it's our pawns on the light squares, and his pawns would be on the dark squares eventually. So this is his better bishop. If I take here, he takes, but he will continue to have this stronghold. So if I do take here, I think he weakens his pawn structure more. If he takes with the bishop, then we play here, and now we're threatening to win this pawn. But actually, if we take here, he takes the bishop, I go here, and he goes here, and I take. He's kind of pinning us here. So maybe it's not the best. But then I guess it opens up all this like file into his king, and we could maybe try to alongside castle, and we should be safe. Hopefully, maybe eventually our bishop could come like here. So I think I'm going to take here. Yeah, okay, and he did take with the bishop, so we're going to play over here. And now, of course, the idea is that, well, we have two attackers, and he doesn't actually have a way to put two attackers on this square. And again, he doesn't have a pawn over here, so this is very weak. And you can't put a pawn over here, so it's very weak. That's the plan so far. What? Not exactly sure what this does at all. But now I guess I'm thinking of like, what piece do I want to take with? If I take with the knight, queen, I am also threatening this rook, so he does have to spend a move there. Just fixing that, and then I guess I could castle. So I think we're gonna do that. Kind of forcing this out for him. Because I would assume that he doesn't want to lose his rook. I guess he could play this too. He could play that. He could very easily play that. So maybe we make a bit of a mistake. If we do go here and he takes, we have, I guess, this idea where we're threatening mate and we're also attacking him here. So I think we can go here. Let's go over here. Setting up this kingside attack. We're threatening this where we're kind of hitting this bishop and here and this square at the same time. This is some fun stuff, I must say. Really want to take here because we do have this move. I guess this queen could come here then. Oh, what if his queen just comes here? So let's say he takes. We bring our knight here and he comes here. But then we take his queen, his bishop takes, and we go rook g8. We're attacking both this bishop over here and an extra attack on the other bishop. So we should win another bishop. Okay, so everything does seem kind of safe so far. This is cool. I like this. I am enjoying this position for us. Yeah. So it does look like we have gotten to a pretty position, and yeah, he's gonna back up. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, I don't want to mess with this stuff, which is fair, which is completely fair. I could just castle, and if we castle, we should be safe. But do we really want to castle? I think we're just gonna castle. Let's just castle. We're also low on time-ish now, but I was thinking that maybe we want to play bishop here, castle here, and maybe we could start pushing this pawn. But honestly, it seems fine. I'm gonna play a6 here, just so that his knight doesn't keep coming in. But we do make this pawn kind of weak, so maybe there are ideas of this. Actually, we shouldn't maybe do that. That might be a bad idea. So why don't we, let's play bishop here. We're controlling the square, and we have the threat of like playing like something like this. Like we want to play for this open file, right? There's an open file. We want to take advantage of it. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, seems like a great idea. Seems like a great idea. That's what I said. Interesting. Also, I'm realizing there's this idea of like maybe pushing this pawn and pushing this pawn again. No. And I think his bishop might be trapped, so I'm going to just go ahead and do that. This seems... Yeah, yeah. I don't think he actually has a way to save this bishop now. Oh, yeah, I missed that completely. Well played. That's well played. That's actually really well played. We might have just like lost a piece because of... Oh, we might have lost a pawn because of that. So I guess we're forced to back up, and now we're losing this pawn over here. Luckily for us, we are up a pawn already. So it's not the worst thing. But we do need to defend this pawn. But where else he's attacking this pawn. So I think we have to play this bishop here, and everything does seem to be defended. If he takes, then I'm gonna take with my queen. Unfortunately, yeah, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, I'm gonna take with my queen. He's gonna bring his rook over here. Oh, he doesn't actually. Maybe it's time for us to take advantage of um these open files. So let's bring a rook over. Let's bring a rook over. Okay. He brought his queen over. He is not scared. He is not scared at all. Yeah, he is not scared at all. I'm gonna bring my queen over here, and I'm thinking I'm just gonna try to like force a trade because that just might be the best thing for us at this point. This is a kind of scary game. Yeah, I expected this. He's just putting his piece in the center, but I'm gonna play over here. Perhaps, hopefully, he does accept the trade. Would be very nice of him if he does, because we are down a piece, or not down a piece actually. We're up a pawn, but down time, and time is pretty important. Very important. He also probably wants to keep his knight protected, so he has either of these two moves. If he doesn't want to trade. Let's see what he does. Okay, he does trade. I'm gonna take with the knight because right now our bishop is actually controlling all four of these squares. So I'll stick with the knight. This knight could always come back here, kind of provoking him. If he moves his knight over here, or his bishop over here, I think we take. Do we take? Maybe we just push a pawn. Maybe we just push a pawn. And then we could try putting like a knight in a slightly better spot, maybe. He is bringing it back. He is bringing it back. Um, is threatening to come in, but I think I'm gonna play this move over here where we're threatening this kind of idea. So this seems normal. He could play this actually. And I think we'll play this. He comes over here maybe, and then we can play this. Do we have enough defenders? He takes. He takes. I take. He takes. I take. Oh, this is getting really complicated now. This is getting kind of complicated. Don't want to end up in a draw. That would be kind of sad. I think we now at this point we can probably play something like a6. So we remove all his threats of I guess coming in while taking this pawn, right? We want to put our pawns on more light squares rather than dark squares so they aren't just dying, right? If he does play this and we play here, this could be a mistake because I think he just plays this then. So don't want to do that. If we play here, I think we do kind of lock it up. Let's go there. And I don't think this pawn should be too weak because how's he gonna get there, right? Is he gonna try this idea? We go here, he takes, I take, he takes, I take. He goes here, I go here. He goes here, I go here. It's starting to look like a draw, actually. Draw. It's very possible it becomes a draw. We gotta keep fighting on, right? Yeah. Expected stuff. I'm gonna bring a rook over. It's not hanging right now. And I think we're gonna have to start moving much quicker because we have 1 minute left on the clock. Right now he does have some weak points, I guess, but they're not that weak. They really aren't that weak. Um, he might come here to invade, but I'll have to just. Oh, then that puts my rook in a very bad spot. Okay, luckily he didn't make the mistake, or didn't make the mistake because if he goes here, he does trap my pieces. We have to play here. He does trap my knight because he could just bring his king over. Could have been bad. Could have been bad, but it isn't bad. We're hitting that bishop. We are hitting that bishop. He's also getting low on time, so I have played a lot of bullets. Oh, and I think this was a bit of a mistake from him, but we'll see what happens, right? The more pawns he drops, the better it is for us. We're really low on time. Oh, we might have blundered a pawn. A draw. We blundered a draw. Oh, unfortunate. We did have a winning position, but time got to us. And he was also pretty low on time. It sucks. That was a fun game, though. It was a really fun game. Maybe we could have won it, but the end game got very dirty, and unfortunately, it was time stuff. But let's go ahead and check that out. Let's open up the analysis and let's see what was going on. Game review is going on right now. We're waiting. Oh man, that was a messy game. A very messy game. Let's go ahead. Kind of normal stuff here. Doesn't like this move. Okay, what is this? What is this? This is weird. This is weird. I don't know if I like that. That pawn is way out there, and I'm never going to be able to support it. But I guess his pawn is also way out here, and he's never going to be able to support it. I don't know if I like this, so I don't think I would play that. I think knight e7 is fine enough. Maybe knight c6 is better. Maybe I should play knight c6 and just go into the main line. Now I want to try and attack this pawn. He plays d4, which is expected. I play queen a5. Castles, and I kind of miss castles, but bishop e7. And he does play this, which I think is a bit of a mistake. He does like queen b6 a little bit. And ooh, bishop c1 actually just protects everything. I forgot. That's a very unintuitive move. Bishop c1 just undeveloping your piece, and I guess then you have all your defenders back. It even says knight a3 is an interesting idea. It certainly is an interesting idea, I must say, but I think I'll just take the pawn. The central pawn right here, and then I would be fine. I don't know. Knight a3, yeah, and I'll just take the center pawn. But he does play this, and I just take over here. Looks good. And it does like knight takes f3 better. Knight takes f3 better because and bishop takes and queen c7 makes sense. He goes here, and I took with the queen, which makes sense. He goes here, and I play queen g5, which is I play that. That's the engine move. Okay, so very good stuff so far. He goes back, and castling is an idea. Knight h4 is an idea, and you kind of just like forcing the trade of pieces. To castle, that's the best. That's the engine move as well. He plays over here, and I knight h4. Bishop d7 is the best. No, knight h4. Everything's kind of equal right now. Bishop d7 is also up there. Knight h4 is now it's starting to really get up there. Knight h4, g3, knight f5. I don't know. What is it really doing? I've got no clue. I've got no clue. That's weird. But I do play bishop d7, and I play e5, and I missed bishop e3 completely, which kind of just blunders a pawn. But that's fine. I mean, it's a pawn. Could have played this with this threat, and I kind of saw this, but I was like, I mean, you could just move away a piece like this, or rook c1. Yeah, rook c1, and then I move my queen away. Like, yeah, e6 is fine. And then, I mean, he just moves his bishop. So, didn't really see it, but I guess pawn duels are strong. So, his knight is severely limited, so I guess it has to go back, and over here, and then maybe it could come into the game. But I guess it does limit his knight quite a bit. So maybe that's an interesting idea. I don't know why it's a blunder, but yeah. I tried to trade the queens off because I felt like I could win. Lots of blunders. Let's actually go back just a little bit over here. Just like knight h4. Sorry, what? Sorry, knight. Oh, yeah, of course. Bishop, it's covered by my bishop. I thought I was just dropping a piece at first. That would be really weird. F3 to avoid the mate, right? And then can you play this idea? I wonder. I'm really wondering about this right now. Can I play this? No, you can't play this because it just drops a pawn. No, that's a horrible move. Queen c2. and then come back over here, trade off that queen. Okay, I mean, interesting. Queen f6 is a mistake. This is a mistake. Now it likes queen c6 again. Go back. Go back where you came from. And I tried to trade off queens, which... We'll just look at that. This is negative 0.9, 0.19 saying, engine is saying negative 0.5. This is actually a draw because one pawn is nothing when the rooks are on the board. So very interesting stuff. But he does trade off this. Also, yeah, you don't want to trade off your queen when you're behind, I guess. I should have taken. He has a weaker pawn, and I completely missed that actually. I did miss that. I missed that. I actually completely missed that. And still likes, yeah, just take that. Take that bishop, make a weakness. You're up a pawn. That was a mistake. But, oh, let's see the blunder over here. This is a blunder because you take here first, I take, and you play rook d6. No, wait, that's not rook d6. That is, you play rook d6. And now what? If you go back here, protect the pawn, he plays rook d3, and now your knight is trapped. I guess no, yeah, it's just trapped. It's just trapped. You have to go back to knight c8 here, and there must be something here. Bishop c5, completely cutting off your rook. There's no way to save this. I guess yeah. Right now you have knight c8, and then, but then after like he goes if you go knight c8, he plays here. This is all controlled, and then he's just gonna walk his king over, and he'll win that knight. Very interesting stuff, but I'm completely missed that, so not a good idea. I was low on time, so it was a little bad, but yeah, take that, and then I'm gonna win a pawn. Feel like I played this endgame decently until I didn't, you know. If it was Lichess, I think I might have done a little bit better because of the pre-moves, but got really bad here. I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should make the Lucina bridge or something. And I have this. I bring my rook over here, maybe, or oh, b4. It likes b4 first, but it's really easy because you just shoot. Because the place my king is right now, once I get my rook here, I can just keep pushing this pawn, and I could either go king here and just keep pushing, or I can go king here and just keep pushing. So this is really easy to win, but I blundered this. And I realized that, yeah, you could just take my rook. Oh, no, but then, yeah, I play king here. And if he takes this rook, I take his rook, and it's a really easy draw, but he's realized that I'm really low on time, so he can just flag me. But it would have been a draw. It was very close, but should have won that. I should have won that. We dropped a pawn over there when I missed bishop. I think it was like bishop e3 or something. Missed that completely. Got to spend a bit more time thinking. Unfortunate, but still a pretty fun game. He was 1863. About the same rating as me, but now I'm down to 1875. Big loss. Yeah, that was actually, what was that opening called? I don't know. Let's see. Is there a way to see what that opening is called? How do I check? Review details? Maybe details? Oh, French defense? No, I don't want to call it the knight variation. That's boring. Let's say he did. No, he wouldn't play that. Yeah, I guess it has to be the knight variation. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it has to be the French defense knight variation. I don't really know what else this would be called. I mean, oftentimes when you have like the d3 setup, but he doesn't push e5 because e5 just weakens it a lot, and you're just wasting a tempo because you want to play d4 eventually, which is what my opponent did in this game. But oftentimes you will see like kind of like a King's Indian, but he didn't play that, so I can't really call it a French defense King's Indian game. Anyways, it was a pretty fun game. I did end up losing, but that's fine. We could have won. We could have won. That's all good. Anyways, I think this was 30 minutes again. But yeah, I'm gonna go on and end the video. I think this was episode number 6. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.